This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Welcome, listeners. I'm your host, Dani, and I'm the first-time reader who's going through this 15-book series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host, Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's acting as my tour guide on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood. And we have some exciting news because we have a new executive producer to announce. So we'd like to thank and welcome Andre the Man in White. And before we get into things today, we want to thank Beth Halligan, who increased their pledge over at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. Thank you so much for your continued support, and we really thank you for your generosity. And I do just want to mention that we have about a week left of our New Year's sale for the remainder of the month of January. We are offering 16% off, that is 2 months free, on an annual Patreon membership. In this episode, we're talking about chapter 17 and 18 of The Shadow Rising.
Yeah, so we got chapter 17, Deceptions, and chapter 18 is Into the Ways.
Yahoo!
Yeah, so we made it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the morning of, the day of.
Except that we get no information.
Not yet.
I wasn't even invited to the meeting.
Oh my god. But things happen, and we get so much information. Oh my god.
This is a very information-heavy episode.
Yeah, especially the first chapter, then the second chapter is just them being terrible to Loyal again. It's just the worst.
It is the
terrible.
worst.
I feel bad for him.
Okay, me too.
So I gotta tell you about this fun fact today, because this one's kind of funny. It's based on a conversation I was having with Tyler from the other night, because he was recently listening to our episode where we talked about the fun facts about the Colosseum.
Yeah.
And he let me know that the chariot ovals have a name.
Ooh.
So it's not Colosseum, it's, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, hippodromes.
Ah.
So that's the oval chariot circle ones.
Cool.
But our conversation really went down a rabbit hole on
did.
history, and we ended up talking about the Aiel because we were talking about how the Aiel have a lot of similarities to the Scottish and the Celts in the whole clans, septs, and societies thing, how it basically mimics that. And then we also had previously learned about how the Aiel play the pipes in the battle, and with such a strong influence in Scottish and Irish, it's really funny because in my head, I totally want to see the Aiel playing bagpipes because the pipes are basically bagpipes without the bag. So just something to think about. I want to see Aiel playing bagpipes.
Okay.
But anyways,
do you have a fact?
I do. Okay,
Okay.
so here's the fun fact. Because we've gotten another reference to blood feuds in this second chapter here, because we get the whole Aiel bit. And guess who has some history on blood feuds?
Is it you?
Well, no, it's the Celts and the Scottish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's more similarities with the Aiel. A lot of stuff is pulled, so I had to look a little bit into blood feuds and that whole deal.
I thought you meant who has information about it.
Well, I have the
And
information.
I was supposed to be is it you?
It is me.
Okay.
But anyways, okay, so apparently the Celtic phenomenon of the blood feud was basically demanding an eye for an eye, which usually descended really quickly into murder, and disagreements between the clans might last for generations in Scotland and Ireland. So it's a direct correlation there. But an interesting note is that blood feuds are common all over the world, or were more common all over the world, in societies that had a weak rule of law, where basically family and kinship ties were the main source of authority. So an entire family would be considered responsible for the actions of one of its members, and that's why the blood feud would come into play. So, fun fact, Aiel have a lot to do with the Scottish and the Irish, and I want to see bagpipes. So there's your fun fact.
And there are a lot of people who are Scottish and Irish who have red hair.
That's true. More things. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, it's pretty obvious now.
Yeah.
So that's a fun little connection there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It is fun. That's why they're fun facts.
Right. Okay. So, where are we in this story?
Yeah, good question.
Because there's a lot going on. I have a full paragraph here. So
On who's doing what? It's been
on
hours.
who's doing what.
Oh my god.
Okay, so everyone is getting ready to head in different directions. Egwene and Avienda are off to the waste. Nynaeve and Elaine are off to Tanchico to walk right into another trap surrounded by evil, probably.
Yeah.
Perrin is off to the Two Rivers and wants to go via the ways. Fael was awful to Loyal by being very immature and tricked him into taking her. And surprise, Gull is coming to the Two Rivers
Yeah.
with Perrin.
Yeah.
Rand is about to make some announcement about his plans, And today's the day.
Today's the day.
Did I miss anyone?
No. Matt's doing something.
Oh, Matt.
We had everybody go through the doorway.
Yeah.
So that just happened?
Right. Oh, yeah, I did miss that.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, okay.
So Matt and Rand and Moraine all went through at the same time.
And then we are going to enter here on a Tom perspective.
Yeah.
But we get some Moraine
Little Moraine.
stuff.
Okay, we got to talk about this.
Right, okay. So, chapter 17, Deceptions.
Ooh.
Which I need to keep in mind as we're discussing this.
Okay.
Because I did not keep that title in mind while reading. And I'd like to think about it while we talk.
Okay, sure, yeah. Okay.
So we get the heart picture, Tom's point of view. Tom has spent the whole night after the attack entertaining the servants who are cleaning up the stone.
Yep.
And he clearly has some other motives than just keeping spirits up.
Yeah, he's not just entertaining people.
Right.
Yeah. He's deceiving people. Huh? Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Well, I mean, kind of. Like, he's planting seeds of sneaky sin.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that?
Sure, yeah. No, he's basically just spreading rumors. And he's trying to pit the commoners against the High Lords. So the commoners will back Rand because the High Lords don't like Rand. And that's his game right now.
Yeah, he's saying things like, oh, I wonder who was watching those barges of Trollocs showing up.
Yeah, exactly.
Things
and
like
he's
that.
like trying to blame it on the High Lords. So like when things get really bad, probably soon is from what it sounds like.
Yeah.
The commoners will actually side with Rand instead of the High Lords.
Gotcha.
Doesn't seem like that hard of an issue to make happen.
No.
So.
And they don't seem very bright, these servants. So
yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. I mean, like it's tough to say too because it's such a big class warfare too.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tom is super tired. He heads back to his room to find none other than Moraine there.
This is great. Yeah.
And I have to note that he thinks she is such a beautiful woman.
Yeah, you picked up on that.
Oh, yeah.
And she has all the graces, including laughing at his jokes.
Oh.
The most important thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey.
Right.
Okay.
So they exchange pleasantries.
You can call it that.
And then she heals him without him asking.
Yeah.
So he doesn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has a good point about consent. Like, she does this a lot.
Yeah.
Especially because we know that, like, healing someone leaves something.
Yeah.
Like
but not everybody knows that.
No, but like Moraine knows it, and she's the one doing it. Does. So
she's like, I'm just being helpful.
So I mean, there is like this whole back and forth. Every time we see them, like there's a little back and forth here going on.
And this is like the first time I think we've seen them alone.
Yeah, like
in a
really
bedroom.
Oh my god!
I thought this might go a little differently.
It doesn't.
I a little bit hoped it would go differently, but
okay. I don't know if you mentioned this. Did you bring up the fact that Moraine is like literally rifling through his stuff, and then when he walks in, she like straightens up and acts like she's supposed to be there?
No,
it's just such a funny.
I didn't mention it, but
yeah, okay, it's such a funny scene.
Yeah, and he like keeps his eye off of his writing trunk to not draw attention to it.
That was the one that Matt was like booting under the table. So
okay, so we're gonna get into some interesting stuff that I know you have a lot of details on, and I know I have no details on. So
okay,
some stuff has happened with the Tyrion. Is that how I say that?
No.
Tyrion?
Terran? Just Terran.
Terran.
Yeah.
High Lords. Some stuff has happened with the High Lords.
Yeah.
And Moraine suspects Tom of meddling.
Yeah. And he acts all like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Okay. But some guys died.
It's the people. Okay.
Quote, by accident.
It's the guys who he originally set up with the whole note and the affair and the what's, back and forth. So the High Lord Carleon is dead in a hunting accident, and his friend Tadosian killed him, basically, in that hunting accident. Mistook him for a boar, as Moraine says.
That reminds me of another boar hunting
Game of Thrones
accident.
Yeah, exactly. No, 100%. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tom's acting like, oh, I don't know anything about this. And then, as soon as Tadosian comes back, he falls ill right after he drinks from the goblet that his wife gave him. So it sounds like that affair was actually happening.
Cool. Go Tom.
Because now the wife is murdering her husband because he killed the dude that she was having an affair with.
Right.
So
oh my god.
And then she...
I want to see more of that.
Oh, it's great.
That's crazy good drama.
Yeah, and then Moraine's like, oh, and the guy who's like basically she fell ill because she poisoned him, he was weeping when he learned that she meant to tend him herself until he either dies or gets better. So he's crying because he knows that she's going to basically kill him.
Ah, okay.
So we can pretty much count both those dudes dead.
Yeah.
And she is,
who knows?
Doing all that.
But apparently, these two guys are the ones who were leading the faction to kill Rand.
Yes. Also important.
So important that that's where Tom was meddling, clearly to help Rand.
Yeah, Tom, was able to inside assassinate the top dudes.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Which leads me to believe that he 100% was involved with murdering the king of Cairhien.
It kind of makes sense, right?
Oh, 100%.
If he can do that with, a note.
Oh, yeah. Well, and especially considering we get a little more...
Oh, yeah, the history of Tom.
Information on some stuff that he personally was responsible for.
This is huge, too. Oh, my God, so much big information.
It's so big. Okay.
We just gotta, get it out there.
Okay, so he keeps up this, ruse, pretending not to know anything, even though he knows that she knows that he knows.
Yeah.
That they know that they know.
And she knows that he knows that she knows that he knows that he knows.
Exactly.
So, yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows. Everyone
knows,
knows, but they're pretending.
Yeah.
For no one's sake.
I don't know why they keep, but they are, so.
For funsies?
It's is it a sexual banter type thing?
It might be.
Do you think there's something to that?
I totally feel the tension. It's fun.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them both enjoying that.
Okay. So, a really important note for me personally, we get Tom's full name.
Yeah.
Which we haven't ever got before.
No.
And I think it's a really stupid name.
Yeah, I know. That's what you said. You said it 5 times. Tom Drill.
Tom Drill.
Tom Drill.
Why can't it just be Tom? Why does it have to be anything else?
Because it's a fantasy series.
I like Tom.
Well.
I don't like Tom Drill. Well, anyway, this leads into the whole backstory that Moraine knows about Tom.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you don't like his name Tom Drill, do you like his nickname better? The Gray Fox?
Yes, I do.
It's pretty sexy.
Well, a silver fox
yeah.
is a thing.
No, I know.
Oh, okay.
And that's why.
He's totally a silver fox.
It's great.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, so he has a big backstory that she basically reveals, kind of, sort of. And the most shocking of the news is that she knows that he was Morghase's lover for a time after Tarangale died. And we'll put that
I wouldn't say that that's the most shocking.
In big I say in big quotations because she then says it's fortunate for Morghase that Tarangale died because she doesn't suppose that she ever learned that Tarangale meant for her to die and for himself to be the first king of Andor.
Right.
So...
That's the shocking news.
That's the shocking news.
Yeah.
Because then shortly thereafter, Tom and Morghase, we can probably assume, started this relationship.
Do we know how Tarangale died?
Well, no, we don't know
Okay.
how that happened. But it kind of sounds like Tom had a direct hand in that.
Well, Tom set it up for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that way anyway.
Yeah, that's what Moraine's saying. And Tom's not denying it, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
even in his own
true.
thought process, he's like, oh my god, how does she know all this stuff?
That's true.
So, it sounds like this is what happened.
Yeah. And how does Moraine know?
Yeah, well, this is the whole thing. We know that she was directly in the royal palace of Cairhien when she was growing up.
That's right.
And when she's like, oh, by some who knew you, you go by the Grey Fox. And it's like, did they ever run into each other? If he was a court bard of Camelin and she was in the royal palace of Cairhien?
Yeah, so here's my thing about that. So it does seem like they know of each other.
Okay.
Because they're both clearly skilled at playing the game of houses.
Yeah, and how do you not know of,
Right. But it doesn't really seem like they've actually met before.
Fair.
So I know my prediction before was I thought that they knew each other, personally.
Like that
before.
first interaction in the Eye of the World?
But I do think they knew of each other.
Yeah.
Which is basically the same.
Well, and it makes sense because of that last line where she's like, but such arrogance as to keep your own name.
Yes.
You went through all this to...
that.
Yeah, you fake everything else. You, drop down in... ranking of whatever you want to call it, but you keep your name Tom Marilyn.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. So, I don't think they have actually met since Tom is so surprised that she knows so much about him.
Okay, yeah.
But then he tries to, surprise her back with information. Yeah. She doesn't show anything on her face, but he's thinking to himself that he's trying to shock her with what he knows about her.
Yeah. So they're both just hiding there.
So it really doesn't feel like they've actually met before.
Yeah. No, I think that's good too.
Before Emmonsfield.
And are you good on the whole Tarangale, who that guy was?
Okay, that is Elaine and Gawain's father?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terengale and Tigraine had Galad, and then after Tigraine disappeared, he married Morghese and they had Elaine and Gawain.
Right. Okay. Now, apparently, Tom got Terengale killed to save Morghese, but Moraine is Terengale's half-sister.
Yes.
Do I have that right? Okay.
Yeah, youngest half-sister and then niece to King Laman.
Yeah, tell me about the stuff that Tom is saying about Moraine.
Okay, so it's like shots fired in the house here,
Yeah, okay.
obviously. So, yeah, okay, so Moraine Damodred, we had that whole big thing about the whole Damodred, and they're all related, turns out. Like, they're all very close.
Yeah.
So...
And she was very high up in the royal palace.
She was. Like, she was right up close to, like, the throne, but not necessarily, like, in line for the throne from what it sounds like, because that would have been a bigger thing.
Yeah.
So, but it's worth mentioning that she was King Laman's niece, Terengale's youngest half-sister. We don't know on which side, but that kind of...
the Damodred side.
Yeah, like, it's familial stuff is hard for my brain to even, like, sort out.
Well, it's hard, too, because what last name do Elaine and...
Trakand, which is Morghese's, but Galad
Right.
has Damodred, which is...
Right.
Yeah, Terengale. So it's like we don't actually know how or why they choose which last name. Like that hasn't been made clear to us here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just gonna kind of leave it as it is right now.
Okay.
But anyway, she's like high up. But then we talk about the fact that like the Damodred name was bad before King Laman fucked it up for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's only gotten worse because we also know Barthanes was like a super dark friend.
Yes.
So the Damodred name is really bad. And that makes sense why Moraine says, you know, I stay away from...
By it.
I don't talk about my last name because it's not good.
Yeah.
And she's Aes Sedai. And then he tries to pin like, hey, you know stuff about the Dragon Reborn before you should have, so you have to have friends in high places, maybe the Hall of the Tower.
Right, because he's, trying to surprise her back with all the speculation he has about her.
Yeah.
Because he does have some real info, but then there's also stuff he's speculating correctly on.
Yeah.
Okay, so after all of this, turns out Moraine wants Tom to go to Tanchico to protect Nynaeve and Elaine, so that's new.
That's the purpose, okay.
Yeah.
So, bodyguards. I mean, she's not wrong. As much as Moraine has, like, told the girls, do whatever you want, she still has, like, she wants to keep them alive.
Oh, 100%.
Like, she doesn't want them to go get murdered in Tanchico.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, like...
Yeah, but he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. Oh man, but like what she says next, there's like bombshell after bombshell.
Right.
I feel are being dropped here. So.
Yeah. So she dangles the Elaine carrot a little bit. Like, don't you want to protect Morghese's daughter? Because I know you loved her so much.
Okay, I don't know if you're missing this intentionally and you want to come back to it.
No, what?
Oh my god, okay. So she says, a quiet life would kill you, I think.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Tanchico will not, and I can tell you that for certain. You know it's true on the first oath.
Yes.
Okay, so how is she telling Tom that he's 100% going to stay alive through Tanchico?
Right. You're right.
I am right. I know that.
No. You're right as in about that I'm saving this.
Oh, okay.
Because there's another tidbit at the end of their conversation.
Yeah.
Where she says something again for sure.
Okay, I just don't want to skip... Okay, let's come back to it then.
I'm glad you said that.
Cool. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not skipping that whole thing. Okay.
But anyways, dangle
the Elaine.
Yeah.
Because she's Morghese's daughter and you should protect her. But then she also brings up the Owen stuff, which she knows a lot about.
Yes, a lot.
Which surprises Tom.
Yeah, because, like, it gets worse.
Yeah. So some shady Aes Sedai stuff went down, and apparently they gentled Owen
on the spot,
on the scene. And later in this chapter, we get how bad that is.
It's very bad. Apparently,
like we get in this sentence, in this little bit, that that wasn't the way to do things. But later we get like,
it sounds like it's against Tower law.
It's against the law.
Yeah, like the Aes Sedai law to do that.
Yeah.
So the Red Sisters did that and then abandoned him to the mercies of the neighbors.
Yeah.
So they went there, did it, and you know, bounced hard.
Yeah.
And then Tom didn't make it back in time to really do anything.
No. And apparently Owen and his young wife both killed themselves.
Yeah. It's
so
sad.
All of that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so now Moraine has to incentivize Tom going to Tanchico.
And she does really well.
Well, because he says no, and she's like, I wouldn't have to do all this if you had just said yes.
Yeah. But like, holy smokes.
So she offers
to
give the names of the Red sisters responsible for Owen's gentling.
Yeah.
When she sees him again, and she knows she will see him again.
Yes.
So that's what I was saving this for.
Okay. So hold on.
Same thing, yeah.
She'll give the names of the sisters and the one above who gave the orders because they weren't acting on their own direction. So that just like screams like big cover-up, scandal, something.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy that Maureen knows about this.
Yeah.
And it's also secret.
Well, there might have been some sort of like Aes Sedai trial of some kind when it happened, because it is technically against the law, and so maybe there was some sort of, hey, don't do that.
Like slap on the wrist or something?
Yeah, some sort of trial where they like got off or whatever it was, and like Maureen might have been part of that.
But then, okay, so let's talk about this. Maureen knows who Tom is and what he can do, and he can get people assassinated.
Murdered.
And then she's like, I'll give you the names of Aes Sedai.
Who are responsible for
the
and
death
he's like, what am I supposed to do with a name?
And she's like, yeah. But then she's basically giving him like the power and, I don't know if authority is the right word, like permission to go and get Aes Sedai killed. Mm-hmm. That seems crazy to me. Does that not seem crazy to you?
No, sounds good to me.
I agree. I like it, but it's like, you know, the whole Aes Sedai thing, that sounds crazy.
Yeah. Because she does say that she's going to teach Tom that not all Aes Sedai are like the Reds.
Yeah, okay. And she will see Tom again.
She will see him again.
Okay.
She knows that's another thing.
How? Why? How? Why? What?
So.
Yeah.
She.
Okay.
From what we know, hours, not even hours, potentially before.
Yeah, I thought you might say this. Okay, continue.
Stepped out of the place where she got a bunch of questions answered.
So what was the question about, like, why is this?
I have no idea.
When am I going to see Tom again?
I don't know. No, of course not.
Yeah.
I think it might have been maybe something to do about her future. And who knows what the question actually was? Like, oh, should I continue helping Rand? But you know how when Matt said, should I go home? They said, go to Ruidian. So, like, they didn't give him an answer to his question.
It wasn't like a yes,
no.
They
gave him a different answer.
Okay.
And so maybe she asked a question and they were like...
Something, Tom.
Something, marry Tom. Right? Right?
Okay.
Something,
I get what you're
Tom
saying.
Is in your future.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Okay.
So,
no,
like,
that makes sense.
I doubt her questions were actually directed about Tom. That seems... stupid.
Well, and it's funny
considering what she's dealing with in her life. Like, if she actually asked a question about Tom, that would be... Or, like, maybe she asked the question, how can I use Tom to my advantage right now?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That makes sense.
Potentially, because she knows that he's helping Rand. She knows that they're sort of fighting for the same thing right now. Sort of.
Yeah. I'll draw your attention just to the point where she was talking with the girls, and she told the girls, I bet that I know the face of the person I'm going to... But she said that before she went into the doorway.
Yes, she did.
So it's just like a weird lining up of timing of things.
It is weird, yeah.
I had to figure out if that's what you were thinking, where she got that.
Mm-hmm. So I think that when she said that, maybe she wasn't talking about Tom when she was telling the girls.
Oh,
But I think now it's like even more solidified for me. Even if it's not solidified for Maureen.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's good. That's great. Okay, I love that.
Okay, so he says, get out of here. And she's like, not all Aes Sedai are like the Reds. So she leaves, and he considers all of it, but it means leaving Rand in the hands of the Aes Sedai, which is basically everything he's fighting against.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think? He's going?
Yeah.
Okay. It kind of sounds at the end, he's like, well, Maureen's going to give me the names, so...
Yep. And she can't lie.
That's true.
So,
okay.
Scene change.
Scene change, okay.
Boom. Scene change. It's Min. So good.
It is. This is a good one. I was
so excited. I really wasn't expecting to hear from her.
It's a funny one. It's a funny little... Like, it's a fairly long sequence with her, but it's good.
Yeah, it's hilarious. She's so funny.
She's like... Yeah.
She's like... went up the ladder of like favorite characters because she's just so witty and so smart.
She's playing into the character of Elmendreda.
I just love it. It's so funny.
And she's doing it to amuse herself. It's great.
And then also to piss off Gawain. Like, it's so funny.
The banter is pretty good.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Okay.
So she is pretending to be Elmindrada, the pretty, like, floof of a girl who's hiding at the White Tower because she has 2 suitors after her.
Oh my goodness.
And she just simply cannot choose. And...
But we get even more shocking news about Laris. I don't know if you picked up on it.
Oh yeah, apparently Laris, the kitchen lady, has taken a liking to her.
Well, because Laris used to be quite the beauty in her youth.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like now stern Laris with the spoon and everything.
Yeah.
Was like such a great beauty.
Sure.
And now she like sees herself in Min or something. So
and is like trying to help
like
her
protecting
out.
it. Yeah, it's just so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so Min has her like weaving basket and she sits down in the gardens or somewhere with her embroidery stuff, which she hates and is terrible at.
She is not good.
No.
She's
but
bad.
Turns out it's easy to sit and people watch when you're doing stupid embroidery.
Well, and now we kind of get the plan that Swan put in place for her is just like sit and watch and look for viewings and
Black Aja hunt.
Yeah.
I said good for people watching and Black Aja hunting.
But very passive is what she's doing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just sitting, observing, checking out visions.
And I mean, I guess if that's what your talent is, your skill is to view, but it just seems
boring and stupid.
Well, and what we learn is that it has been boring and stupid.
Yeah. Okay, so cue Gawain and Galad walking up to her.
Yeah.
And Gawain thinks that this is so funny, but Galad is like totally buying her act, except for then he thinks she looks a little familiar.
But this is funny because Galad's being so vapid, he doesn't recognize Min at all.
Oh.
Galad.
Oh, really?
He kind of picks up like, should I know you? But he does not see through the disguise.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's the funny thing. It's like Gawain
okay.
immediately, like, he picks up on everything and like he saw her previously or whatever. But I'm just saying, Galad doesn't get it.
No, he doesn't. And they also shut that down because Min's like, oh, I would remember meeting someone as gallant as you or something stupid. Yeah. So Gawain wants Min to comment on Galad's book.
A new book.
Yeah, The Way of the Light by Lothair Mantelar.
And do you remember who that is?
Uh-huh, because I said, uh-oh.
Uh-oh, okay.
That is the top guy who, like, founded the White Cloaks.
Founder of the White Cloaks.
Yeah.
And you know who Lothair Mantelar is based on?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Martin Luther.
Martin Luther. Okay.
Yeah.
So I read the 95 Thesis.
What's that?
That's the thing that Martin Luther is known for basically starting Lutheranism.
Ah.
Yeah. He posted 95 Theses on the door.
Ah.
And that's how that all started.
Do you think that that's what the Way of the Light is? No, he started Lutheranism.
Yeah. But it's like the subdivision. I don't really understand the subdivisions. But anyways, I read it. And the chapter that we get, I don't really fully understand everything. But I kind of get a similar vibe of some similarities of what is in this book comparative. So I just had to point that out.
So Min is sort of messing with Gawain here because Gawain wants Min to be like, look, this book is stupid. Yeah, Galad, you shouldn't be reading that crap. Which is what Min would say.
Yeah.
But Min,
not Elmindrada.
As Elmindrada is like, oh, there's so many words. I've been meaning to read a book.
But it takes
so long to do my hair. Don't you think I look so pretty?
It's so good. It's
She's so
They're
funny.
just continuously, like, the entire chapter, them just, like, fucking with each other.
Yeah, it's funny. But Galad thinks that Lothair Mantelar was a great guy, a great man with noble ideas, and the White Cloaks are just a little excessive.
So this is bad.
Yeah, this is really bad, actually.
So do you want to recall the dream we saw from Egwene?
No.
In chapter 11?
Go for it. Recall it for us.
Galad was wrapping himself in white as though putting on his own shroud, and Gawain with his eyes full of pain and hatred.
Yikes.
So, yeah.
All right.
How about that?
Well, that's bad. I don't have anything else for that except for...
I don't know. It seems bad, man.
It seems bad, but, it seems in character.
For Galad?
Yeah.
The guy who always does what's right no matter what?
Uh-huh.
Except the White Cloaks don't do, like, the what's... Okay.
No. Ask who's the one who does. The guy we hear from all the time.
Bornhald?
But Bornhald's dad.
Oh, Jeffrem.
Yeah. See, I feel like he joined the White Cloaks because he
wanted to do what's right all the time.
He wanted to do what's right all the time, And then he got into this society, which is actually super corrupt and like racist and terrible and bad. And
like dragged to the left or something, like dragged off to the side.
Yeah. And so even though Jephram tried his best not to sort of get sucked too far, like not be too evil about it.
Sure, yeah.
It still like drags you in.
Okay.
And I feel like that's probably
trajectory for Galad.
I think so.
Okay. Well, his copy of the book is signed by Eamon Valda, so like, hey,
yikes!
How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Good for him.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess.
And it said like in hopes that you find the right path or something. I didn't write it down.
But... I know. I feel like that's exactly what's happening. Is he thinks he's joining for positive reasons?
Yeah.
Right. Because when you get sucked into a cult, you don't think, I want to do this because I love, being evil and terrible. Like if you were going to be a dark friend.
Yeah.
Right? Those people think, I know I'm doing a bad thing.
You're kind of getting into it.
For my own gain. Yeah. And you're getting into it and you know it's bad, whatever. But I think it's under this ruse that you join the White Cloaks thinking that it's all for good, it's all for the light, it's all for positive.
And you slowly get sucked into it. So,
yeah, and it's the exact opposite, like the opposite ends of the continuum.
Yeah.
And they're both bad.
Gotcha. I like that too. Okay.
Anyway, so Min tries to not get involved at all here. She changes the subject about dancing. And she hopes that there's a dance held here. And
because she's so floofy.
She's so floofy that she just loves dancing. And
Galad is so noble, and he's going to take her if she wants.
Oh, that's so nice. So sweet. But then Gawain's an idiot and asks about Egwene and Elaine and says that Min talks to the Amyrlin every day and has she heard of them.
So this is terrible. So Gawain's just doing the worst job.
Well, and this pisses Min off. He's not supposed to know anything about her. And she's not supposed to know anything about that.
And it's like, they're trying to keep this a secret from Galad, so why are you...
Galad's kind of dumb, though, so...
Ah, he's not the smartest guy.
No, he's not.
I mean, that's been pretty clear a few times over.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't pick up on things all the time.
Yeah, she does play it off well. Like,
she
good
does.
for Min.
She deflects.
At this point, where she's like, oh, the daughter heir. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
So,
right.
But it works.
Yeah.
So it's good enough to fool Galad.
Right. But then... something exciting happened.
Does it? Is it exciting?
Yes.
Okay.
100%. This is so exciting.
I don't know. I don't understand what you find exciting. It's so hard for me.
Okay.
Okay. So Logain coming is exciting for you.
This is exciting.
Okay.
I've told you, I like him.
I know you like him. I don't know why.
Go to the prediction board because here we are with Logain gonna do stuff. Okay. So, Min sees Logain in the garden, who's accompanied by an Accepted, and basically her job is to stop him from killing himself.
Yeah.
Gawain says he pities Logain, and Galad said he deserves no pity.
Yep, so again, opposite ends here.
So they argue about that for a bit, but then Min is distracted because she suddenly has a vision of Logain with a glowing gold and blue halo that shouts of glory and power to come.
Okay. How, what, why, go?
Yeah. So, remember I said...
I know.
There's going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And he's going to somehow be ungentled and get his power back.
You did say that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a question. Why is power and glory dependent on being able to channel?
Because he's all depressed and suicide-y.
Do you not think that it would be important for someone who, used to have this nice shiny object in their life that gets it ripped away to, instead of getting that nice shiny object back, maybe focus on another thing in their life that could provide the same sort of satisfaction and glory?
No.
Why does it have to be channeling?
Because.
Why couldn't it be something else? That's
it can't
not.
Be.
It can't. Oh my god!
It's
okay.
all that's all we get. People who can touch the source or whatever it is, the true source.
Yeah.
It calls to them, and they're filled with. I feel like it's almost like drug addiction, almost. Right?
There's a very large comparison we're gonna do in the future about the power.
I don't know really anything about that at all, but
yeah. Well, it's been listed over and over again about the addiction to the power. Don't use it too much or you're going to get burned out.
Right, yeah.
There's a lot of comparisons about channeling.
Yeah, so you do have a good point, but I don't think that for Logain in this instance, he's going to be turned around by anything else. Unless,
okay.
I mean, nah.
I'm just saying, Perrin's going to find power and glory, hopefully. Matt's like being the main characters of a
sure,
series.
But they
don't channel.
They don't understand what it's like, though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because being cut off it's being there, they can sense it, but they can't reach for it. That's where the depression hits, right?
Yeah.
That's where there's no will to live anymore.
Yeah.
So give him back his will to live.
Okay. I'm just saying, why can't he find a will to live in something else? That's my point. But I understand where you're coming from. You're hard on the whole Logain has to.
I just don't think so.
Again,
I think it's too common that men can't, like, once they're gentle or cut off.
It doesn't happen.
They can't find any, like, happiness in anything else.
Okay, yeah.
So.
No, that's a good point, too. So.
Unless it's, like, you know, being Rand's mentor or something. But, like.
How does that even work?
I don't even think that he would enjoy that because he can't touch it, right? Like.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
This is a tough one. But anyways, that was exciting. We saw Logain.
Super exciting. So, Min goes to leave and is like, oh my god, I gotta tell the Amaryllis this right now, right away.
Yeah.
And...
She doesn't, but she does.
She goes to leave. She pretends to be faint from talking about Logain. And Gawain insists on accompanying her. And once they are out of Galad's earshot, she yells at Gawain for being an idiot.
Yeah.
So they have a conversation where Gawain calls Rand a false dragon in Tyr, and he's really worried about where Elaine and Egwene are.
Yeah, this is big too. And the whole kind of big point that I took out of the Gawain bit where he's like calling Rand a false dragon, he says that rumors have a way of magnifying events, and even the stone can fall. So even if the stone does fall and has fallen, he's still not convinced.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's it going to take to convince you, Gawain, that Rand is the real Dragon Reborn? Because he's saying, and it could happen. But yeah, just something to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because Gawain is also concerned because Galad is in taverns with white cloaks, and this sounds bad.
Yeah, and this is where we get that whole bit about his book was signed by Eamon
Yeah.
And it's in the hope you will find the way. So, again, really bad.
Yeah, so Gawain just wants to know what's going on. He's losing his brother to the White Cloaks. His sister's gone.
Like, disappeared again.
He probably loves Egwene, and she's gone.
Gone.
So...
What's a guy to do?
Right, so
Yeah.
I feel for him. I feel bad for the guy.
I get where he's coming from. Like, there's a lot of frustration here.
I feel like Min... Although Min also doesn't really know.
She doesn't?
She has a hint that they're in Tyr, but, like, that was so long ago, and she doesn't actually know what they're doing. She knows they're not on a farm hoeing cabbages. She could at least tell him that.
Yeah, I mean, she could do a lot of things, but she does none of them, so...
Alright, so she leaves Gawain and goes straight to the Amerlin's chambers, and then just, like, busts in without even knocking, and I feel like this is against 8 rules.
Yeah, probably.
So many. And Swan is like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, this is not how we do things.
Yeah. And so Liana... Oh, just wait till we get to Sarah. So...
God.
Okay, so Liana is in here with Swan, and Min tells them both about the thing, about Logain, and the things and the things.
Okay, and one thing I do have to point out, she's telling everything in front of Liana.
Yeah, but feels a little uncomfortable.
But we weren't 100% sure, because back in Faldara was when we really saw, like, Swan and Moraine and the Varen triangle of, like, planning about Rand. And we weren't sure if Liana was in on that. But now it seems that she is and or has been. At least to an extent.
At least now, yeah. So Swan says, oh good, another thing to worry about.
Yeah.
And then we get a whole list of things that are terrible in the world.
Yeah, we can talk about some of them.
Yeah, we can talk about some of them.
Yeah.
So I have, there's starvation in Kyrian, which makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a missing sister in Terabon.
That makes sense too.
Yep.
We know about that one.
Yeah, that's probably the one who's, nope, not Suldam, Damane
now, yeah.
There are Trolloc raids increasing in the Borderlands.
Yep, makes sense.
Sucks. There's a prophet in Gildan claiming the Dragon Reborn is a Shinerian lord.
We know who that is.
Massima.
Yeah.
I never get the name right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely him, and he sounds off his fucking rocker. at this point.
Yeah, and it's also like he knows. Well, I thought he knew that Rand wasn't Shi'aran.
I know,
but again,
now
maybe it's getting twisted.
It's getting so twisted.
Yeah,
and he's calling himself the prophet or something like that.
Okay.
So
like capital P.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay.
So there's a bunch of other things sort of happening, and then we get that the Blight is retreating.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Which is an interesting thing to note.
It's
like
it could be good or bad.
Good.
Okay.
It's maybe.
Are you thinking because like tsunami type stuff?
Oh, I wasn't.
Okay.
Good point.
That's kind of what I first thought of. Is
like
okay,
when it all goes out to come in bigger.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you see the ocean running away from you, go the opposite direction as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Except it's probably too late.
Definitely too late.
But try.
Yeah.
So
follow the dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs know.
Yeah.
Like
all the animals, but
yeah.
Oh, where's the ocean going? Oh, here it comes.
Oh no. Oh, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know. Unless it's what I thought was maybe because the Blight is like around Shale Ghul, right?
Sure.
And so I thought maybe they're sucking like the evil power.
Sure.
To like charge up Shale Ghul.
Okay.
I don't know. Does that make any sense?
It does. And it also kind of depends on what your viewpoint on the whole, like, how connected
what is the Blight even?
Well, how connected is the Blight and the Dark One and the Forsaken? Because, I mean, if we're going to be honest here, Rand's done a not terrible job of taking down some Forsaken because they had like the Eye of the World incident.
Some Forsaken died.
We had the Eye of the World incident. We had like fighting Baalzamon / Ishi. We had the events of the Dragon Reborn. Like he struck a blow in a few different manners, but we don't really know how connected that actually is to why would that affect the Blight retreating. Mm-hmm. So it's like just something to think about too.
Okay, is there anything else in there you want to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it.
Okay, so Swan tells Lyanna to increase the watch on Logain, but the real reason Min went running to the Amerlin gets revealed. Yeah. And it turns out she just really wants to be done here and she wants permission to leave.
She wants to go see Rand.
Yeah, so there's no news of the Black Aja, and Rand can totally use her talents.
Well, it's funny because she's like, nothing I'm seeing here is worth anything.
Yeah, and Swan's like, all of these things are so super important.
But they're not. It's like, oh, you stopped one girl from getting pregnant, but not actually because it's going to happen anyways.
Because the visions are going to happen.
Going to happen regardless. So it's like it's twisted, but she tells a bunch of stuff that's just like, it seems so irrelevant.
Yeah.
But Swan's not going to let her go.
No.
So.
Yeah, and she's like, anything you see could eventually lead to the Black Aja. Swan is a little tunnel visioned here.
It seems
on
that
the
way.
Black Aja stuff. Like, that's really gotten to her, I think.
It could, but it's also, like, you've said it before when I've brought up points where you said, like, this is what she's saying. It doesn't necessarily mean that's what she believes. Maybe she's just using that as, like, this is what I'm going to tell Min.
Maybe, but I really do think that...
She seems tunnel vision.
She seems super obsessed with this thing that's happened on her watch.
Yeah.
And it's bad.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Anyway. So no, Min can't leave, but she wants Swan to at least tell Gawain and Galad where their sister is, but Swan says no, that's none of your concern.
Yeah. Nobody believes they're hoeing cabbages.
Yeah.
So.
But if she changes her story now at this point, it's gonna look bad.
It's gonna be worse. Yeah. So.
Okay, and then Min wants to know why they haven't heard from Moraine in Tyr at all.
Yeah, she spirals pretty quick here too.
Yeah, but I want to know, like, didn't Moraine say she sent word?
Yeah, which I mean is just now being received in like a couple paragraphs.
Yeah.
We assume. It's hard to line up the time frames here too.
Oh yeah, yeah, I know. Okay, so Swan is just sort of like swatting Min away at this point and says, don't trouble until trouble troubles you.
Yeah, not bad advice too.
Yeah. And then there's a knock at the door and they like scramble around so it looks like Min is supposed to be there getting yelled at.
Yeah. Kinda. Well, yeah, just like what's the reason for being here? So it's just yelling at Min.
Yeah, and it's a novice at the door with 2 new messages.
Yay. Okay.
Not yay.
Well, it's yay for us in conversation. It's not like boring news.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's very exciting.
So one of them is about how Mazrim Taim has escaped.
Oh my god. What?
Taken away by stealth in the night and 2 sisters are dead. Whoa.
Yeah, and it happens somewhere we haven't really heard any of these names
Yeah, I said,
before.
where is he, Brett?
I
didn't even look at the map. I just figured
it's not really listed on the maps from what we have, so it's
Okay.
just like where he was bringing broad. He's gone now.
Okay,
So-
but do we know where he is in the world?
Yeah, like
Somewhere
we know where.
between Saldea and the White Tower?
Basically, yeah. That's as good as we're gonna point out right now. It's not super relevant for right now.
Okay.
It's just kind of funny because this was the whole Joya said that Leandrin's
Yep.
plan was to break
That's it.
time free, and here we are, time's broken free.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, which leads me to believe that the Tanchico stuff is also true.
you think it's true? It's not a fake story
No.
because it sounds like Joya's story was true.
Yes.
So
It's
Miko's story is also true. Two
There's
different plans.
100% there's more than one plan. And
Okay.
they're not going to tell every Black Aja the one same plan.
Which would make sense why Miko was like, I didn't know about this plan.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And why Joy was like, I don't care if you go to Tanchico.
Yeah, that's not my deal.
Yeah.
Okay. They're both dead now, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, gruesome. Gruesome death for those guys.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Swan is like way too taken off guard
Yeah.
about this news for Min to have actually sent word about this. Like, that's my note here.
Okay.
Because Moraine said she sent word to the Amerlin,
Yes.
but she didn't say specifically what about.
About the plans.
About the plans.
Okay,
but-
time frames here.
Yeah, but then I also have, like, what's the timeline? Are we sort of back in time?
Well, this makes sense. Rand taking Kalendor,
Happens before
the
Dark
Friends are questioned
yeah.
and the plan comes out. So it's like Swan just getting the message now that Rand has taken Kalendor and is
which
the
we
Dragon
get
Reborn.
in the next message.
Yes, and that's why I'm bringing it up now. It's like she just gets that message, which would presumably be Maureen's first message,
Right.
and maybe there's another letter coming.
Because, yeah, Swan's like, oh my god, this is crazy, this is bad,
Yeah.
oh, terrible.
So it kind of seems like they learned of the break time free plan too late.
Or, I also question what Moraine is telling Swan.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I do, but in my notes at this point in the chapter,
Yeah.
those were my thoughts.
Fair enough.
Like, I thought Moraine sent word about this, why is Swan surprised?
Yeah.
But if it's a little bit back in time,
Yeah.
then that makes sense,
Yeah.
which it sort of seems.
Sure.
Because now, okay, Swan orders 12 sisters and 1,000 guards to go to recapturing Taim.
Yes. It sounds like overkill, but it also might not be.
I don't think it is at all.
If he
and I
broke
say, freaking good luck if
Yeah.
this is a Black Aja plan.
Yeah.
So,
which it sounds like
it definitely 100% is.
And she's not saying that it sounds like that. She's like, oh, probably some of his followers. Maybe she's
Yes.
just saying that for Min's sake.
No,
Like-
I think she doesn't know.
Really?
I think
okay.
she will know. I think now after we learn that the second message from Moraine is like the stone has fallen and he has and Rand has Kalendor now, and anyway, I
Yeah.
think that whole thing means that another message is probably coming.
Okay, so hopefully she'll become aware of it sooner than later.
Hopefully.
Okay,
So,
but let's talk about this whole gentling time as soon as he gets captured thing.
yeah, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I have a starred point about Maureen's Owen story.
Yes.
Because it directly correlates.
Yeah. Well, because Leon's response is like it's the law
No.
not to do that,
Yeah, we can't do that.
and then we get a name that we've heard before.
Yes.
Guerra Malasan. That's one of the names of the false dragons that Baalzamon was telling the boys in the dream sequences.
Whoa, like in Eye of the World?
Yeah, like way back when.
Sure, I
those, like,
remember that.
Big names that he was like, oh, gonna be another one of these guys. Guerra Malasan was one of those names.
Ah.
Yeah.
Because Logain was one of them.
Yeah.
That was like the big one we were supposed to take away.
False dragon, and Baalzamon was like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
the tower's like using these false dragons.
Right,
They're gonna
right.
use you the same way.
Right.
And then Rand told Tom all these names, and he was like, those are dangerous names, boy. Don't go spouting that off to anybody.
Okay.
So,
Guerra Malisan.
yeah, Guerra Malasan. So when Swan says, we don't want another Guerra Malasan,
Oh. I feel like I didn't even read that.
yeah, it's pretty big. So, I mean,
I feel like I read it, had no idea what it was, and then just kept reading.
hey, that's why I'm here. At
Yeah.
least I have a purpose.
You
hey?
do. You
okay.
have a purpose.
But like that just sounds pretty big.
Yeah. Sounds like that was a bad time.
It does sound like it was a bad time, and it sounds like they might be headed towards another bad time.
Well, especially considering the Black Aja and Dark Friends want him free.
Oh yeah,
and they're
apparently
gonna use him.
Like if Joy was telling the 100% truth, like yeah,
which
we're
I'm
gonna
sure
set him
she
free.
was. Like she was super duper captured.
Yeah,
and had no reason at this point not to tell them.
Yeah, turns
So-
out she had a reason to not tell them because she got her tongue nailed to a
I think
door.
that
But
she
hey,
probably knew that was coming.
that was gonna happen anyways.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, then we get the second message is from Moraine. The stone has fallen, and my autocorrect thinks that Rand has a calendar now.
He does. He maybe has that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the new year.
Yeah. Hey.
Might need a calendar for something.
A calendar or a calendar?
Colander.
Colander. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So he's got the big shiny sword.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. Now Swan wants a meeting with the Hall.
Yes. Okay. So just to emphasize, if you missed this, like any part of this too, this is big news.
I didn't miss
okay.
this. I got this.
Okay.
So now she can move forward and she's like, this is good news. Finally something positive out of all of this.
Yeah.
I can call a meeting of the Hall of the Tower.
Yes.
Tell all of the top sisters.
Yeah.
The dragon is reborn and we have to guide him.
Yes, and that's big because now that officially the big prophecy about Kalendor being taken, this is a big sign that's being seen, and hopefully this will make all the Aes Sedai be like, yeah, this is the real guy.
Yeah.
And now we can openly or more openly support.
Right. Swan knows she's going to get pushback and she knows there's going to be arguments, and Lyanna is not really on board with this, but Swan's like, it's happening, bitch.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. She has to. The White Tower would have to do something to guide and or support the Dragon Reborn. They totally want to control him, obviously.
But the argument will be whether or not he's actually the Dragon Reborn.
Yes, but
right?
if he does in fact have calendar, then it's
sure, the prophecy's been fulfilled, but
that's the big sign.
But prophecies are just words, and I'm sure some people still won't be convinced.
Yeah, and I mean, even especially, I'm gonna just say even the Reds, because their whole mission statement,
no kidding,
is hunt down every man who can channel,
and just men in general, kill them all off.
Yeah. So hey.
Yeah. Plus, Moraine's note doesn't give much information, and that's too bad.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping there's still another message coming.
Hopefully.
But it won't be of much use now.
Yeah. So, just a couple notes. Swan wants to call the tower within the hour to do this.
Right now, this morning.
Right now, let's get it done. But I just want to point out that they're talking about not mentioning Rand's name yet. That's a big thing because Swan's
they should know who it is.
Don't share too much too fast. We don't got to go tell all the sisters right away.
Right.
But I also want to highlight the last time we saw Elida, she was talking with Alviarin about this whole oh, I know Rand and I got to go kill him. Basically is what her thought process was, because he's going to destroy Andor.
Yeah, cuz she had
and her whole mission statement is stick close to the Andor and Royal line because they're going to save the world or something like that.
Just wait, because I want to talk about Elida at the end of this chapter. So
okay, let's get there then.
Okay. So we get a scene change.
Yep.
And my sentence
here
says, "Oh, I knew Sarah would come back to be trouble."
So, oh man, okay.
Except I feel kind of bad for her because she just got caught up.
She did. Okay, so here's the thing. When we first met Sarah and we were making, comical relief about her name and spelling and the extra H and all that good stuff.
Which I'm going to do again, even though she dies.
But you had said something, and I casually mentioned something oh, maybe she'll be important. And you're like, yeah, right, when? And it's I knew this was coming. And it's so...
No, I said she was going to be important.
You said she was going to be important.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, why?
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just so funny because it's just such a sad scene. Because it really isn't, and even just mimicking her own thoughts, she didn't do anything wrong.
Literally nothing.
She didn't do anything. It's not her fault.
She literally did nothing.
Yeah.
It is actually quite sad if you think about it. It's so
sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's try not to think about it.
Let's not think about that part of it. Let's talk about this.
Brett, she's been gone for more than like 25 years. When did this book come out? It's okay.
Is it okay, though?
We're going to move past it.
It's not okay.
Okay, so, turns out Sarah is out hoeing cabbages and beets under the watch of Mistress Elward when some Aes Sedai comes up to her with the hood of their cloak up, hiding their face.
Yep.
Never a good sign when
Nope.
the Aes Sedai walk around looking like the Emperor.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So, this woman comes up to her and asks her about a woman named Elmindrada speaking to the Amerlin.
Okay. And she says, just before you left the tower, you took a woman to the Amerlin seat, a woman calling herself Elmindrada. Tell me everything that you heard or saw, girl, from the moment you took the woman in your charge. Everything.
Yeah, including like expressions.
Oh my goodness.
Everything.
Okay.
So.
You said the Emperor. I'm going to say Anakin when he enters the temple and all the children are there.
And they're like.
And the little boy takes like the step back. It's just
Yeah.
heartbreaking. No, don't murder the children, Anakin. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But then he does. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Oh my
Yeah,
god. Okay.
So, Sarah tries to tell the woman that she saw and heard nothing because in her opinion,
Yeah.
her memory, she saw and heard nothing. She didn't hear anything about
She saw Gawain because she was like
saw
staring
Lord
all
Gawain, and she
dreamy-eyed.
didn't see she didn't even see the Amerlin.
Yeah.
So in her thought process, she didn't hear anything. And then she gets all like pain zapped by the power, Leandrin style.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we've only seen Leandrin do this, but it might actually be Black Aja style.
That's fair. Like, it doesn't specifically have to be Leandrin.
No.
Because why would she be here in this case?
Finding out information.
How does she know about Elmindrada? How does she know about Sarah?
Well, those are the freaking questions.
But I mean, those are the questions.
Those are the questions.
Yeah, okay.
So, now Sarah is crying and starts like saying, oh, well, she spoke to Lord Gawain, but this isn't enough information. And when the Aes Sedai leaves the farm, she has killed everyone there.
Yes, including Sarah. It's so sad and it's so well written.
Mistress Elward, who really did nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she got killed too.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She got killed too.
I mean, what do you mean she did nothing?
She really did nothing. She literally has a farm.
Oh, okay. I just thought you meant, like, what is she supposed to do against this, like, Black Aja?
Oh, no,
I don't know. What is she...
No, I mean, like, she didn't deserve to die.
Okay, I thought you meant, like, she didn't do anything to, like, fight back or something. I was like, what is she supposed to do?
Like, if we're saying that
Yeah.
Sarah didn't deserve this and,
Yeah.
Well, what
it's
about
all bad.
Mistress
all terrible.
Elward?
Okay, hold
on.
Why did you say I gotta talk about Elida?
Okay, so I got some theories about like who this person is and how they know about Sarah.
Sure, yeah.
So
I need to know. I'm eager
so
here.
my first theory that makes the most sense is Phaolane.
Phaolane, okay.
The bitch accepted.
Yep.
Who's a bitch.
Yeah, she is.
So I mean she fits the character of Black Aja. Or like Black Dark Friend? Dark Friend accepted?
Are you saying that she is this person?
No.
Okay.
I'm saying that she probably is a Dark Friend who relays information.
Gotcha, okay.
And Phelan was really pissed off about Elmindrada getting to see the Amerlin so fast.
Totally.
Probably, and suspected something.
Yeah.
And something, relayed the information about the whole scene.
Yeah, I mean, if your missive is like, if you see anything weird, tell your superior.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. So that makes the most sense to me.
I like that.
I just don't know if it's too obvious.
Okay, that's fair.
So then we have Elida, who also saw the scene of Sarah. And she was like, ugh, I don't even need to remember that chick's name.
Yeah, she didn't.
But she might have accidentally gave information.
She could have been like running her mouth or something.
Right,
I guess.
because who did Elida speak to? That white Aja lady?
Oh, Viaran?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she spoke to her, and she could have said, here's the scene I just saw.
Okay.
And, like, by accident told a Black Aja about this happening, because I still
Sure.
100%.
That would have had to been like outside of the pages of what we saw.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that
for
was,
sure. There was a whole
okay.
conversation. They, like,
Yeah.
kept talking, I think.
Yeah.
And it was very vague what she told her.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, after she was finished talking.
So we don't know what...
The White
okay.
Aja agreed.
Yeah.
So I don't think Elida is Black Aja, and I never will.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But she did see the scene.
Yeah.
She did see the whole exchange, and then Min going into the Amerlin and connecting Min to Rand.
Okay.
So she might have accidentally said something which led to this.
Okay.
Which is the only other thing I can think of.
And then you were also mentioning, like, Leandrin.
Right. Who would have got information
So
from
if she
either
got the...
Phelan or Elida or this White Aja.
Yep.
Evelyn? What did you say her name was?
No, I get it. Alviarin.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
So,
Okay.
any one of those. Those are my theories.
Okay, so, like, Leandrin got information, and then this could potentially be literally Leandrin.
It could be.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen her do crazy shit like that, so...
Sure. We don't even know where she is or what the hell she's doing.
We don't.
She wasn't here, but they all escaped.
Yeah, and we don't know the timeline, so...
No. Nope.
It does seem like this might be after those events, like once they were gone.
Right.
Just because sequence, so...
Okay. But, let's get into Chapter 18.
Yeah, let's do that.
We're just going to keep rolling through this. We got lots to talk about.
Yeah.
So, Chapter 18 is called Into the Ways. And we get our trifoil leaf picture, which I think is my favorite picture.
Trefoil.
Trefoil. What did I say?
Try.
Well, it is.
T-R-E.
T-R-E?
T-R-E, not T-R-I.
Well, it's 3, though. 3 leaves.
It's not try, it's trefoil.
Whatever you say. Okay. Moving on.
Okay.
So, it's a picture, and I like it.
Okay.
It's a pretty picture.
Yeah, it is a pretty picture.
So, we're in Perrin's point of view.
We are.
Perrin is all packed and ready to go with the axe at his belt and the hammer packed with his saddlebags.
Yeah, he still has issues with that.
Certainly.
Surprise.
Uh-huh. So he's leaving, and he finds Gull outside his room alone. So no other Aiel wanted to come
It's
because
really...
it's too far into the wetlands.
It's sad because Perrin's internal thought process was secretly hoping for a big Aiel, like, war party to come back to the Two Rivers,
So he
drive
wouldn't
out
have
the
to
White
die.
Cloak so he wouldn't have to die. It's like that, it was still in the back of his mind,
Yeah.
and now he, like, has to squash that.
Right.
It's kind of sad.
It is sad. Okay, so before we get further into this chapter, we announced earlier that we have a new executive producer level patron.
Yeah, Mistress Luhan's frying pan.
Yeah, the best weapon.
In the entire series. I
Right.
will spoil that for you.
Yeah, so as a producer level patron, Andre gets to ask a question.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
But his question is more of a topic for us to discuss.
Okay, I like that too. That works.
So, we get that the Emmons Field 5 started on different journeys. So, they'd like us to talk about how the Wetlanders view the Aiel opposed to how their culture actually is. They are a hard people and are rough around the edges, but their principles, values, and cultures seem to be the most complex in this series.
Yeah.
Discuss.
Okay, so I think that's a good point because we are introduced to the whole Wetlanders side of things first.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And I think
Which
that,
is more similar to, I think, our...
like, Western ideals.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like, yeah, they seem more familiar to us.
Yes.
And I think that makes sense why the Aiel seem so, like, foreign, because they are foreign to a typical reader of the series,
Right.
because that's where RJ is from.
Right, and I think that we get viewpoints from Elaine and Fael, who both clearly grew up getting some sort of education,
Yeah.
and think that they know about the culture, and then they actually meet these people they've never met before.
Yeah.
And
Turns out they're wrong.
turns out, not that necessarily that they're wrong, but they're not right.
I was going to say.
Or
Okay.
that they have some things right and it's misinterpreted.
Yeah.
Or there's some things right, but there's other facts to it.
I really feel like there's a life lesson in that. Like,
Yeah.
just sunk into the whole fabric of the difference between the Wetlanders and the Aiel.
Yeah.
So, just because you do have different cultures and values and, you know, whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean you can't all get along.
No, but also don't assume to understand cultures
Oh, yeah.
that you've never even interacted with.
Don't assume you know everything because you read something in a book once or twice.
Right. Or you ate Chinese food in Canada.
Yeah.
And now you know everything about China.
Yeah.
Right. Like, no, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Right. And it's interesting because they are a hard, like, and rough people, but their values and culture seem to be the most complex. Do you have, like, a thought on that?
I do. I think it's complex because it's complex to us because we haven't experienced it. Like, to the Aiel,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's not that complex. I'm sure it just makes sense because that's how
They
it is.
seem confused by the, quote, wetlanders.
It seems like the Aiel would view the wetlanders as complex because, like, what do you mean you're not just going to go and kill Bear Lane with a knife? Why wouldn't you go and do that? That makes the most sense to me.
Yes.
You're complicating things. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just a viewpoint of anybody who views somebody else is going to view it as weird and different and complex. Like that, I think that's this like life lesson right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm really excited to learn more about the Aiel as we progress through the story.
You mean you're excited for me to learn more about the Aiel?
We.
You know.
I say we because this is a we experience.
Yeah? Are you learning stuff too as we go?
I've learned lots, absolutely.
Really?
Oh yeah, 100%. I've learned tons of stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you picked up on stuff that you've never picked up on before?
Absolutely. Yes.
Reading it with like a fine-tooth comb?
Yeah, I've never had to have an in-detail conversation about the Wheel of Time ever. I've just read it a bunch of times to myself and like kind of, you know.
Fair.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I learn things every time. I pick up
good.
on new stuff. It's great.
Nice.
So
you want to keep going?
we'll see. Okay, maybe. Okay.
Okay. So I thought that was a good place to input.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay.
Because the rest of this is there are some little sprinklings.
Okay,
of
I just got
stuff in here.
I love Aiel humor. It's great.
Oh, there's lots of that.
It's so funny. It's so good.
I thought you were gonna bring that up here.
Of course
Okay.
I am.
Okay, so back to this though, because we have Perrin has asked Gull to get some stuff gathered
Yeah.
for him,
Well,
like all secret, like
Yeah, we kind of know what that is.
all his stuff.
It's the stuff for the ways.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like the oil and the lamps.
The poles,
and
because he doesn't
the
want
food.
Moraine to like find out what he's doing.
Exactly, but apparently Fael and Loyal have been making their plans very known.
Yeah, just like running their mouths. So, but that's the secret thing that Gull has been doing.
Yeah.
Is like secretly getting stuff to the right
One
place.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like way too much detail into this.
So much detail. And Fael has been running around looking for the freaking Glee Man.
Yeah. So
Have you seen the Glee Man? Because I'm going to travel the ways with Perrin to the Two Rivers.
write a story about me.
Yeah. Okay, so if Min goes up my ladder in this
Sure.
episode of like favorite characters, Fael
Is
goes
getting bumped.
down.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Far down.
Okay.
I
Why?
really don't like her.
Why?
Everything about her in this chapter pisses me right off.
Okay, why? Just care. Like, why?
She's so immature.
Okay.
I can't handle it.
Okay.
These are the things I don't like about Nynaeve, is her like immaturity. Like when we see inside her head and she can't let things about Maureen go or see that maybe this was the best for everybody, right? Like,
Yeah.
The immaturity drives me insane.
Okay.
And I can't
get
handle
that.
this here.
I totally understand why, and I agree with you. Like,
Yeah, and then also leave Loyal alone.
Yeah, she gets bumped down. So does Perrin, because he's also being a butthole, so...
Yeah.
Like, it's all... They're both being immature in their first relationship. Like, these are a couple...
But don't drag other people down with you.
That's what immature couples do.
I know. Okay. So, this line in particular is bothersome because Perrin threatens to hit Fael if she gives him away to Moraine. And I'm sure it's just like a saying, like, oh, she won't sit for a week because he's gonna like
Spank
her so hard.
Yeah.
Like hit her so hard that she will regret doing what she did.
Yeah, it seems like a spanking thing.
It's a spanking thing, but like not a sexual one.
No.
It's a punishment one, and it's not cool. It is
No,
not
it's
okay,
not.
and it is not
cool. Okay. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with you.
Not cool.
There's more of that, too, that comes. So,
I know.
Hey.
Well, and the problem is, Fael is exactly the same. She would literally say the same thing about him.
Yeah.
So...
I mean, but hey, that kind of...
None of it's okay. It's not healthy. Not cool.
I'm just saying spanking punishments is a thing that exists in real life, so it's here, obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So, either way, Perrin makes Gull promise to take Fail safely out of the two rivers if and when things go down.
Yeah.
And Gull says, I'll do my best, man.
Yeah.
The
It's
end.
going to be hard because he knows that there's two maidens coming along.
So, as they head out of the stone to the stables, Perrin notes that there's not many people around, and it turns out Rand has called everyone to the heart of the stone, and I say, oh no, it's happening and I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I invited to the meeting? I want to be at the meeting. You're missing not, it.
And it's happening, and it clearly happens. So
yeah, I really hope we get a little bit of
wouldn't that be nice to see the things that you want to see?
Oh,
That'd
God.
be great.
I better go back and see what's happening.
It's really funny that Perrin's entire thought process is like, oh, I hope Maureen doesn't come and try and stop me.
Oh, yeah.
He says it so many times that it's kind of like he secretly wants Maureen to come and stop him.
Yeah, well, he definitely talks about how he feels the pull of Taviran, and he's, like, running away from it.
He can't, but that's the thing. He physically
can. And he thinks,
can.
like, Rand, yeah. I told you, man, I gotta go. And he's, like, justifying to himself.
Well, it's also interesting that he has that perspective and can go away even though he feels that pull.
Because Matt clearly
could
can't.
not. So,
there you go.
Like, he feels the pull and can't go.
He couldn't even say it.
Yeah.
He couldn't even say the words. So, okay. They get to the stables. Fail and Loyal are there, ready to go, and they are accompanied by Bane and Chiad.
Nope.
Shade?
Nope.
Chiad. Okay, so there's something about a blood feud between Chiad and Gull.
Okay, yeah.
Tell me about it.
Okay.
But, like,
we've heard
give me
before.
the short version.
Chiad is Goshin, or Goshine, and has a blood feud with Gull of the Sharad. And Bane is also Sharad.
Oh.
Yes, cool. We know that. We've known that already.
Yeah, no, I get it, but, like, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So Gull and Bane are the same clan.
Chiad and Bane are, like, super bonded together, obviously.
Yes.
And they have a blood feud?
Yes.
But they took an oath, so it doesn't matter?
Correct.
Okay. To be first sisters.
Sure. We can say...
Which causes a lot of...
There's a lot of discord in the... controversy.
There's a lot of discord in the Discord.
I still hold by my beliefs.
I know you do.
So anyways, okay. But the whole point is that the blood feud is there. So Gull is saying there's still a blood feud between her and I, but I'm not going to do anything unless she does something first.
Cool.
Perhaps the water oaths will hold.
Whatever that means.
So. But hey, we're back to where we were when we first started this entire series. Perrin's confused. Full circle.
Yeah.
Wheel of time,
I feel like he's never stopped being confused. I don't know if this is a circle or...
It's a straight line of confusion.
No. A spiral.
It's a Jeremy Bearimy of confusion.
It's a Jeremy Bearimy.
Yeah.
It is a Jeremy Bearimy.
Makes sense. Okay.
You're right. Okay. If you haven't watched The Good Place, you should watch it.
You should watch it. It's good.
Okay.
It's good.
So, anyway, Bane and Chiad like Fail and want to go with her on this journey, not with Perrin. Important to note.
The argument between Perrin and Fail
continues.
Fascinates them.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So, Loyal is super anxious about the whole thing. He really wants to help Perrin, but he is bound to this oath Fail tricked him into. It's annoying. We also get the Aiel are super weird.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. They are.
I think this might be more of, like, the humor stuff.
Yeah, so it's the taunting back and forth, definitely, probably.
Yeah.
Because Fael does the whole thing where she says, oh, Perrin, you can follow me like a lost puppy, and I promise I'll scratch your ears.
Yeah.
And they think it's hilarious.
Which I have a comment about later, because she doesn't give that shit up.
No, she doesn't.
But we can talk about that when I get to it.
Yeah. And then clearly Gull and Bane and Chiad have picked sides, and Gull is defending Perrin's like honor.
And he does like a weird kick.
He does like a big giant jump in the air and like backflip foot in the air thing. It's like some flips and shit.
Cool.
And says, we will follow like stalking ridge cats, like hunting wolves.
Perrin doesn't like that.
Well, no, he likes that. He likes that. He doesn't like what Bane says. Bane makes the mistake and is taunting Gull.
Oh.
And she says that she mentions that she has a wolf skin in her hold.
Right.
And wolves are easily taken.
Right.
So she's like, it's easy to kill a wolf. And Perrin shuts that shit down real fast.
He doesn't like that.
And he growls, basically. And they, like, stop talking about it.
Good. Okay.
But Fael keeps poking.
Yeah, Fael's the worst.
Yeah.
So, They are all set to head off. The Aiel are walking or like running, not on a horse.
Yep.
Fael asks Perrin to just ask her. She wants to sort of end this. She's a little bit sick of it, I think, maybe.
Who is?
Fael?
Oh, Loyal's sick of it. Fael's...
Well, Loyal's for sure sick of it. But Fael is like, Perrin, why can't you just ask? Just ask me.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, she just sort of wants...
She wants Perrin to bend.
Oh, 100%.
Perrin's not going to bend.
No, but sometimes you gotta bend. You gotta bend, or someone's gonna break, right?
Oh, nice.
That's
willow. Okay.
Yeah.
The wind in the willows?
Yeah. But, anyway. I don't agree that this is a good tactic, but somebody, somewhere, has to just be the bigger person. Otherwise, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree completely with you, so...
Okay. Anyway, before he can say anything, the stone rings like a bell, and the stable shakes like crazy, like some ridiculous
crazy earthquake. Yeah.
Yeah, and Perrin thinks that this is Rand's doing, and I think he's right.
Well, he just called a big old group meeting to the to the heart of the stone, and then shortly thereafter, we've got this big earth-like...
Maybe it didn't go well.
So...
Because Perrin gets the pull of Ta'Veren pulling at him, and he knows he has to get away now.
Yeah.
So, they ride... basically as hard as they can. Perrin takes off. Fael and Loyal on their horses take off after him.
Yeah.
They ride hard out of the city into the countryside when they finally come to a stop. And then Fael sort of looks around and is annoyed that the Aiel are so far behind now.
Oh, man.
Man, they're never an hour to catch up to us.
Yeah, but not actually. It's like...
And then Perrin spots the Aiel running towards them 1 minute later. And Fael... does not know as much as she thinks she does.
Yeah, so Perrin and Fael do this weird dynamic of it's a who knows more than the other person thing, where they both keep trying to prove each other wrong of
Perrin
I know more.
Specifically doesn't prod her.
He doesn't.
He could, and he probably should, because she's so annoying.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
he also lacks communication skills here in the entirety.
But he purposely is like, oh, I won't say it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe partial marks. I don't know.
All right, so the Aiel come running up, and then we get some Aiel humor.
Yeah, we do. Before, I just want to point out one little fun little tidbit here. Okay. Fael tries making fun of Perrin about his bad memory.
Or something?
No, she's like, he's got good eyesight, but he's got a terrible memory because at times I think he'd forget to light a candle at night if I didn't remind him to.
It's because he can see.
He can see in the dark, basically. He doesn't need candles.
Yeah.
So Fael comes in and it's like pitch black, and she's like, light a candle, dummy. And he's like, I guess so.
I forgot to light a candle.
Yeah, it's just like a funny little thing. So.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, the Aiel show up and have really funny jokes, mostly about running faster and longer and why certain clans can like run farther or maidens can run farther.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's a funny dynamic on the male versus female humor that we see in like our real life sometimes where it's like, guys are, dummies because they got thick heads. So that's why they can't run whatever stone dogs. They got heavy bones and heavy heads, whatever.
And the maidens are running from men who want to marry them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. That's why they can run for so long.
Yeah, because they'll run forever to get away from that.
It's actually pretty funny.
It is. It's just like a different, unique take, but it's hilarious when you start to
they're like, oh, so funny.
Yeah. No, I just think it's so funny once you start to understand who the Aiel are as people too.
Yeah, so. I like them.
Yeah.
I like them quite a bit. So, Fael keeps referring to Perrin as a stray puppy following after her, and at this point it's super obvious that she's mostly showing off in front of Bane and Chiad.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
You did.
She is for sure trying to make them laugh.
Well, it's like when you're in your friend group.
Teen girl situation. This is back to grade 8, trying to make someone laugh by making fun of someone else.
Putting other people down.
Yeah.
Being a jerk.
Because the first time it happened...
This is bullying.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it is. It's just plain and simple.
Relentless torture of one person. Yeah, 100%. So, the first time it happened, though, it could have just been her still being annoyed with Perrin, whatever. But then it's again, the same stupid puppy joke. It makes the other girls laugh. She feels popular. It's just...
I mean, even with them, it could devolve into just like them going the ways and not talk about the problem anymore. Like that would be better to just like pretend none of this happened and then just like travel together.
No, but now it's like, oh,
you're antagonizing each other. Oh, man.
She's mean girling him.
She
so
is.
Loyal is super pissed off again.
The Aiel don't even go here.
Yeah. They don't. Get out of here, Loyal. Get out of here. Okay. Loyal is super pissed off, though. He's annoyed. He's as annoyed as I am.
Yeah.
And he wants her to just let all of this go and just poor Loyal.
Poor Loyal.
Poor Loyal. All of it.
He's stuck in the middle.
All of it, poor Loyal. Because they get going again. We get a lot of description of Terran farms. And then we finally get to the Waygate.
Yep. We get more recap. And also Loyal's angry again because
super pissed off.
Another one of his groves has been cut down.
Oh my god.
It's the worst.
And Perrin is smelling his friend's emotions again.
He is. That's a thing he can do.
And doesn't tell anyone he can do that.
No.
Is it creepy?
Is it going to cause problems in the future? I don't know.
Definitely.
Okay.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's super creepy. I'm just in the corner smelling your emotions.
Well, would it be better because then you know what I'm feeling without me having to tell you? Is that good? Is that bad?
I want you to be able to smell my emotions, but I want you to know. I want to know that you can do that.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like a little bit intrusive
to be able to do that and not
tell me.
Yeah.
Anyway, he can smell Loyal's fury.
What my nose smells is between me and my nose.
Oh my god. Okay.
Business.
So, anyway, we get the entire entering of a Waygate.
Yep.
As just like a recap of what the ways are and how you get in, and it's dark.
But Machin Chin is not here.
It's not.
When they opened the Waygate, it wasn't like the blackness that tried to come out of the wall and like eat you.
It was totally a Ram thing.
Yeah, so he's not here, so it kind of makes sense that if that's the
sure,
theory,
and I mean, like, that was like 2 books ago. So
it was a long time ago,
so he's probably, gotten something else to do now. I don't know.
He's off. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, the Black Wind is running errands.
He's doing his
doing his banking, balancing his checkbook. Eating other souls.
Yeah, as
whatever.
one does.
Yeah. Okay. So Perrin and Gull go in first.
Yep.
There's a funny moment with Perrin explaining bridges in this place to Gull.
Yeah.
Because Gull is like, wait a minute.
I've heard this word before.
Is there water here?
Yeah.
And Perrin's like, no.
Yeah.
It's different.
It's like a bridge, but it's different.
But just come with me anyway.
Yeah.
So Perrin knows that the white line is going to take them to their first guiding post thing, right?
Yeah, so when you go in, you go straight forward to a guiding.
Right. So they will get going, and they're going to wait for the rest of the group to catch up to them.
Yeah.
Because Perrin doesn't want Fael to know that he's following her, at least for this bit.
He wants to be in control as long as he can, and he can be in control until they get to like the first place where they have to go there. So,
which doesn't seem like a good idea.
Well, I mean, like, if you want to prove a point, maybe not in the spooky haunted ways.
I know.
Like, choose
where
a
you
different
only
place.
need the one Ogier.
Oh my god.
For the rest of your journey.
And it's like, yeah, you can't get lost
like
between the gate and the
you're
guiding.
Too confident about your knowledge of this place, which is severely limited, and you're thinking with too much emotion, Perrin.
He is. For a guy who's typically like the logical dude who thinks things through.
Yes.
He is not doing that.
No, he is too much emotion. He's thinking with his whole well, at least for this I won't follow her, and maybe she'll worry about me, and maybe she'll think I've gone on without her.
I blame Fael. It's totally her fault. Parents acting this way.
I blame both of them.
I'm joking.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. I thought you were serious.
No. That was sarcasm.
Okay. I think they should be waiting for their Ogier guide.
Yeah, they're both being assholes to each other, and Loyal's stuck in the middle, and the Aiel are gonna I don't even know. So, okay.
When you're on your tour, you follow the guide who has the little flag in the air.
Yeah. Follow the person,
what you do,
follow them close.
You're gonna get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go off on your own.
Don't do it.
Because you think you know the way.
You know what? If anyone's thinking, if anyone's thinking about traveling in the future.
Yeah. Distant future.
I'm a big advocate for the guided tours.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah.
For certain things.
Yeah, for certain things. Like, there's definitely merit to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to, like, learn information.
Yes.
If you don't care to learn information...
Then maybe not.
Skip it.
But if you like learning stuff...
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Yeah. So anyways, the funniest of Aiel humor is when Perrin doesn't really know how to explain the whole ways and what a bridge is in here, and he's, like, been through once before, I think it's... Like, he's only been through once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Gaul's like, do you actually know what you're doing, man?
He's like, no.
No, but File doesn't need to know that.
Yeah.
And then Gaul laughs and says,
to be young
to
again.
be young again.
Yeah.
So...
Like, how old is Gaul? I didn't picture him to be old.
No, it seems like he's older than Perrin.
But
But
not
it's like,
much.
not much older, but old enough.
He's like,
I
isn't
feel
it
like,
fun to pretend we're young? Like, I feel like that's what he's...
I feel like it would be like me if I went on an adventure with an 18-year-old guy.
Or you, like, went on...
Like, I'm old enough, I'm
went on,
enough
like, a
older than
party
you.
boat
Yeah,
with
it's like, to be young again.
Yeah, but the hangover is gonna be a bitch.
Yeah,
Okay.
So, anyways.
All right, that is the end of this chapter.
Yeah, and I just want to say that there's no possible way that Perrin and Fael trying to stick it to each other in the ways is going to go poorly.
This is so bad.
Yeah.
I hope it's a quick journey like the Egwene...
The girls with
Nynaeve
Leandrin,
with
yeah.
Leandrin. It was just, like, so uneventful.
Snip, snap, they're through,
They just
we're out.
used it as,
Yeah.
like, quick transportation.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Because none of them have any sort of, like, powers.
They don't.
At least with Leandrin, Elaine...
They were all channelers.
Egwene,
They might
were
be able to
all
do
channelers.
something.
They all could, like, blast match engine with, like, something.
Yeah, even if it, like, didn't work 100%, like, they could do something.
could.
But none of
Here-
these people can do anything against anything.
This is a terrible idea. I hope it's just, like, quick and, now we're out of here.
Okay.
I might be annoyed, but... Anyway, it seems like a convenient way to travel.
Yeah. And here's to hoping that you get to see what happened with the whole earthquake in the Heart of the Stone.
Yeah, right. And if anybody is thinking, oh man, time is moving really slow right now for me. If you want to know something, this episode is going to come out when our baby is 3 months old.
Hooray!
So if you remember when I announced my pregnancy, because I do, now the baby is out, and that was probably close to, well, not quite a year ago, but...
Pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay.
Right. So now we have a 3-month-old.
Yeah.
Remember when I was complaining about not doing shots being
Yeah.
pregnant? Yo.
Time both moves like way too quickly and so slowly.
Yep.
I don't understand it.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, there's that. And I think I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Vince Lewick, Michelle O'Brien, Sarah Wyatt, and Jamie Young. With music by Audionautics.com. You can pick up your own The Wheel Weave shot glasses, frosty mugs, t-shirts, and more at newcreationsbyjen.com/collections/the-wheel-weaves. You can become a patron at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast to support us making great content. You will also get access to bonus content, bonus episodes, stickers, keychains, monthly Q&A episodes, unedited video episode releases, and more. Don't forget to join the conversation over at our Discord channel. The link is posted on our Twitter page and our Patreon page. And find us on social media on Twitter and Instagram at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. Thanks again for listening to this episode. Don't forget to tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. And I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.